Hey, friends, and welcome back to another interview episode of Thriving Thoughts. I'm your host, Dr. Sherri. It's a treat to have you back for today's conversation with my friends, Amber and Darragh. Interestingly enough, Darragh is the niece of my aunt, not my aunt by blood, but my aunt by marriage. And that aunt is like a second mom to me. So it's been pretty cool to reconnect with Darragh and learn more about her and how she chooses to thrive in friendship. What I love about this conversation in particular is that Darragh and Amber both describe that you have to be one to get one. In other words, if you want a ride or die, if you want to be a good friend, are you willing to be one to get one? They describe several instances over their friendship in which Darragh has dropped everything to go and be by Amber's side when she was in a time of need, and in which Amber tells it like it is to Darragh and says, no, you're not going to settle for that. So I love their authenticity and their honesty in sharing with you just very openly what it means to be a good friend. And once again, this is another duo who are geographically separated. I know you will find a piece of you in either Amber or Darragh. And as they say at the end, if you don't have one, go get yourself an Amber, go get yourself a Darragh. Let's dive in. So Amber, what's got you in a way this morning?
Getting one of my kids up for work and getting her out the door on time. And I found a condom wrapper in my house yesterday.
Oh.
Super exciting.
Super exciting. Good times.
Oh. Well, just the leaf part, where you tear it off. And I only knew it was that because I could read the word lubricated across it.
All right. Darragh, what is your advice for your friend here?
Oh, we have talked about this. Her girls are 16 and she has twins. And one of them is a little more popular, social, advanced than the other. So, I always just tell her, try to stay cool and have a nice open conversation, because if she tries to come down on her, they're going to shut off.
Which I do.
I know. You try. You do try. She does try her best, but mama mode kicks in. So,
well, yeah, the fierce protector, right?
Yep.
Well, I was even calm last night when I saw it. I just needed to know if we used it, that way I know what to do. And she said no. She said that Charlie, her friend, they had blown it up like a balloon or whatever. I don't even know.
So they were messing around with it.
Yeah. I know that she hasn't done anything like that yet. I really think that she would tell me. She came to me the other week and told me she was ready for birth control, didn't she, Darragh?
And she did.
So I think that if something had happened, she would tell me. I've worked really, really hard on telling them I won't go psycho when it's that time.
Go psycho. Well, it's hard. So let me ask you guys this, Darragh. You don't have children.
No.
Right. And so how does that, I have a couple of, all of my close friends have children and I don't have children.
I'm in the same boat.
Yeah. So it's interesting. How does that play out for you guys? Like Amber, when you're going through something like this, you still talk to Darragh about it. It's not like you deem Darragh not knowledgeable because she doesn't have kids. You trust her
opinion. Darragh's my baby daddy. Darragh, with the twins, especially with the twins.
Yeah.
Darragh has been there since they were conceived. Let's just be honest.
I would say probably in the house since we were 12.
Oh, wow. Okay. So
yeah.
Baby daddy. Got it. Okay.
That's right.
Yeah. So she's been there with the twins. We lived with Darragh for a couple of years, and even in that, Darragh took on even more of a really apparent role with the girls.
Mm-hmm.
So Darragh knows the girls very, very well. She knows, she's not surprised when I call her and tell her Cambry did something. I can tell her what the situation was, and she would know exactly which kid it was. So she's not just somebody who's been kind of in and out and just I talk to every once in a while. Darragh knows the girl.
Yeah. So she's more than a baby daddy.
Yeah,
I'm a life partner.
That's right.
We call her
I'm a life partner.
Yeah, we call Darragh on Father's Day.
Tell me happy Father's Day.
Do you? I love this. I love that.
Yeah.
How did you guys start that? Like, well, I mean, and do you have any trouble, or not trouble, but so you know how kids split parents, right? Like when I mean like if mama doesn't give it to me, I'm going to go ask daddy on the sly or whatever. Do the kids ever come to you, Darragh, with something that maybe they haven't gone to mom with first?
Not yet. Not really.
Malay would.
She would if she needed to, I think.
Yeah.
So even though I'm around, because I do live so far away, I mean, it's only 3 hours, but I'm not although I know the girls and I love them and they're excited when I come to visit and, you know, all of that stuff. I don't think we're at that level where they're like, oh, let me call Darragh because, you know, I need to talk to her. But they know that if they needed to, they could.
They could. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that if it was serious enough, like I told them before, like God forbid, if they ever got pregnant young, you better tell somebody before you tell me. And let that person tell me and you be far away. Yeah. And it would probably be Darragh that they would call.
Probably.
Yep. But you won't go into psycho mode. Darragh will keep you from going into psycho mode.
Yeah, it would give you the time to cool off.
Right.
And you know, problem solve at that point. Like,
yeah.
Ugh, I don't want to think about that.
So you guys are obviously very open with one another, very trusting of one another. So for this season, we're just talking about how our friendships help us to grow as a person. So what makes you guys good for each other?
I think for Darragh, for me, is Darragh will tell me if I'm wrong and if I'm right, or if I'm being crazy, if I'm being irrational. She doesn't. I don't want things sugar coated.
Yeah,
you need to just tell me, and Darragh will just tell me.
Mm-hmm.
And I need somebody like that. Otherwise, I'm gonna fly off the hinge.
Yeah,
probably quite a bit, or do stupid things.
And that's part of probably what has kept your friendship so strong for all of these years. Amber, if that's what you need. And Darragh, that's probably how you're just wired.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm very tell it like it is. And I'll tell you the truth, whether you want to hear it or not.
Whether you ask for it or not?
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah. I like to think I'm a little bit nicer than that, but yeah.
Speaking the truth is nice, I think.
Yes.
Especially when you love somebody.
Yes. And I'm more so to do that with Amber because she is my best friend.
And she receives it well.
For the most part. Sometimes she's like, no, I don't think I'm crazy. And I'm like, you're crazy. Like, no.
So tell us about one of those moments, maybe where you, Darragh, shared something you were straight with Amber, and maybe Amber, you didn't take it so well initially. Do you have any of those moments?
I don't know. I mean,
I think that's the only things. I think that's the only maybe with stuff with like Tori, like when I was going through stuff with him, especially when I came up there, and you're like, leave the fool alone, and I'm like, I'm gonna leave him alone, and then
So is this? Are you talking, Amber, with your ex, or with what?
He's not my ex. Go ahead.
Okay, so Amber has a younger daughter named Tori.
Oh, okay.
And she was in no, it's okay. She was actually in a relationship with her father, whose also his name was Tori, but he passed away.
Oh, understood.
Yes. Yeah. So, but before she ended up having little Tori with him, they went through a breakup, which is why she moved in with me for a few years. And I was very as adamant as I was, leave him alone, leave him alone, leave him alone.
Yeah.
Even when she didn't, I was still, I didn't hold it against her. And so even though she didn't agree with it, with what I was saying, she didn't want to hear what I was saying. No matter what she chose to do, I still backed her up.
I love that. There's two things I want to talk about in there. The first is a lot of, I was going to do like a live on this because there's a lot of friends, girlfriends who want to tell their girlfriends about their boyfriends and how they're no good for them.
Mm-hmm.
So one, I think there's a delicate way to do that. There is a way to do that where you can speak in love and in truth to your friend. And two, then the next thing I want to dive into is not abandoning your friend when they don't listen to your counsel or your advice. Yeah. So let's talk about those two things. How did you receive that, Amber, when she was saying, don't mess with him?
It was true. So I know everything that everyone said was fact. And I knew that was a problem, but it didn't matter. I loved Tori.
Yeah.
Really unconditionally. And I don't know. I just did. There's no rhyme or reason to it. No. And and she never even treated him any different. Like she's way different than me in that. Like the stuff that he did to me, he ran me through the dirt with some stuff. And Darragh was still nice to him. If BJ did a quarter of the stuff that Darragh did, that Tori did to me to Darragh, I'd fight BJ.
Yeah.
She really never judged. And he would even call her sometimes. Tori would call her and say, get your friend. She's acting crazy. And then she would call me and say, what did he do?
Not what did you do? What did he do?
Yeah, and then she would listen to my response, and she would say sometimes, Amber, you're being stupid. And she was right sometimes, probably most of the time, but it was just for a while, for a long time, it was a roller coaster of craziness.
So did that draw you guys closer together, that roller coaster of craziness?
No, I think that Darragh, the things that make me and Darragh close is, for me anyways, is Darragh has proved time and time again that she's not going anywhere. She's going to be my friend regardless, whether she likes it, she agrees with it, whatever. She's going to be my friend regardless. She has been, I remember I told you I didn't want to do it because I said Darragh's been a way better friend to me. But Darragh has, but it's just because I'm needy. I'm more needy than you. But I'm so glad, like we talked about it on the phone, I'm so glad Darragh has never been in the situation that I've been in.
Yeah.
To where I needed to be there for her. And God forbid when those days come, Darragh won't have to even get the sentence out and I'll be gone.
Right.
Out.
I still think though that if those things happen, when those things happen to me, you're going to be more emotional than I am. So I still might have to be there for you.
So would you say that, Darragh, you're more of the thinker in the friendship and Amber, you're more of the feeler?
Yes.
Oh, I'm definitely more sensitive.
Oh, yes. Definitely.
Crybaby. I'm a crybaby thug.
So how do you, I want, and we're going to flip this in just a minute, but how do you, like you said, Darragh, you said, I still back her, even if she's, doing something that I don't agree with or whatever.
Yeah.
How do you balance that with wanting and desiring the best for your friend?
I don't even know that it's a balance. It's just kind of like you said, it's kind of how I'm wired. I love people for who they are, not what they do.
Yeah.
Unless she or somebody in my life really would do something that you like, you'd have to do something really bad for me to cut you off and not want to have anything to do with you. I get angry easily, but I forgive just as easy. And so I don't even think it's a balance. It's just, I love her. She's my best friend and she might drive me crazy sometimes, but that's not ever going to cloud my feelings for her.
It's just unquestionable.
Yep.
I love your friendship. This is like,
I'm going to cry.
Oh, see, she's showing her sensitivity right now. So, but Darragh, how do you feel like Amber has been there for you? How does she meet your needs? Because everybody has different needs, right? In a friendship.
Yes. And even though I have not been through all of the crazy, she's been through a lot of very traumatic, crazy things in the years that we've known each other. I can still, even though it's not that is serious, I can still call her and talk to her, and just, she answers the phone and she says hello, and I just go a mile a minute for 30 minutes, and she just sits there and listens. So just having somebody that will listen, and, you know, Amber's a hype man too. So if she calls me and says, I want to beat somebody up, I'm like, let's think about this. Why do we feel this way? And if I were to call her and say, I want to beat somebody up, she's like, where do I meet you?
Right.
What time
I've got the broken bottle in my hand. Let's go. Right.
Let's go. Yes. But it's just knowing you have that somebody, and that, you know, even though we live in different cities and don't get to see each other a whole lot. I mean, I saw her and her girls probably for the first time in almost a year. I went down for their girl's 16th birthday to take them out for the day. And I mean, just all that time can pass without seeing each other in person, and nothing ever changes. Like, we just pick up right where we left off.
You know, it's interesting. So I think I've pre-recorded 5 interviews with friends so far for this season. And every single set of friends lives geographically separated. But they're
trying to get her back.
But they're like ride or dies. But you know, I'm geographically separated from every single one of my close friends, every single one of them. It would have to be a planned trip, right? To see them. And so, but I often wonder, like, would you be as close if you lived near each other, if you didn't have to be intentional about it?
We would. I think that if we lived closer to each other, it would almost be like we were living together, because we'd be together all the time, whether she was home or not, or I was home or not. If she needed a break from her kids, she'd come to my house. And if I needed to just kind of get away and lay on the couch and while she did laundry, I'd go to her house. Like that's how we were when we were kids too.
Now, do either of you have sisters?
I do not.
I do.
Amber has nothing but sisters.
Okay. Yeah. And how does your relationship differ maybe from the relationship with your sisters? Because it certainly sounds like Darragh is your tight sister.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not really, like my older sister, I'm not really close with her. I love her, but I'm not really close with her. I think Brittany and I are pretty close, but I still wouldn't tell Brittany or Shannon, who's my other sister, the stuff that I tell Darragh.
They're more judgmental.
They're very they're very judgy. And I just wouldn't. I love them most of the time, but I just wouldn't. No. And it's just the people that they are. I always say all the time, you know, as your siblings get older, it's not the fact that they're my sisters or my brother. It's the people that they grow into as adults that I still want to surround myself with. And even though I love them, like Brittany, I can hang out with all the time. Brittany doesn't bother me. Shannon, I can only do in doses. And Christy, I can only do in doses. Because
but you and Darragh could be together forever.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, because Darragh, Darragh, I just take things what they are. Like you can walk into the house and Darragh will be on her phone. She won't even lift up her head. She won't even lift up her head. And when I first lived with her, I thought that's just so annoying. And then after a while, I was like, whatever. And
this is who she is.
Yeah. And Darragh will come here and she'll sleep. Like I haven't seen Darragh in 6 months.
And she'll lay down and go to sleep.
Okay. And it doesn't matter. It's just the fact that she's within my vicinity.
Yeah.
Is all I need. And it's like, okay, something is back into place.
Yeah. What I love about what the two of you are saying is this theme that keeps coming up is this one where in your friendship, you don't judge each other. And I think that's a quality that's present in all really close. It has to be. Right.
Over here. Yeah.
But does that carry over into your lives? Like your compassion for one another, Does that carry over for you guys in your ability to have more compassion for other people as well?
I think for me, it does. I try my best not to judge people.
Mm-hmm.
I might not like what they do,
right,
but I try to always kind of think of what they might be going through.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very bad about that, because that's one reason I think why I can't hold grudges and stay mad at people, because I can always in my head work out a reason why, okay, well, they're valid, even if they're not.
Mm-hmm.
I can see both sides of things. And so I have a lot of compassion for people. Don't get me wrong. People get on my nerves and I complain, but I don't hold it against them.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful gift.
Limit.
Yeah,
okay.
she does.
I know. Amber, I saw you going like, yeah, not me. Uh-oh. Are you still there? There she is.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah. I have a limit.
She does.
Yeah. But I feel like you have to do a lot. Like, my limit is very long.
Yeah.
And I know I haven't always made the right decisions in life. So I try to give people passes on a lot of things.
Sure.
But then after a while, when they say people show you who they are, believe them
the first time.
Yep. Yeah. Yes. And I feel like now I've kind of I'm almost 40, kind of surrounded myself with a really, really good group of friends. And so now I can be pickier, and now I can go, I don't think I really need you around, because I have literally 10 other people that don't act like this.
Well, I think that's a great point, Amber. I think that we have to be selective. Like, we owe it to ourselves to be selective about who's, this sounds diva-ish, but who's allowed in our presence.
In my circle.
Right?
Yep.
Because who's around us is who we become.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have to protect that. And I think a lot of times women in particular can be less assertive in that way, because they feel like they're just supposed to be nice, because they want to be liked, because they want to be whatever. But if we aren't fiercely protective with ourselves first, how can we expect anybody else to be fiercely protective of us?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you guys, what do you admire about each other? Speaking of being fiercely protective of the self and of, just taking care of yourself and how you believe in yourself. What do you guys admire about each other in that regard?
Well, with Amber, I admire is outspoken and loud as I can be. I admire the fact that Amber is even louder. And at times when I feel like I back down from, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess asserting myself and just kind of go, it's not worth it. I'm not even going to get into it. Amber is like, oh no, you're going to hear what I have to say. Okay. And I admire that, because I don't do that. Not to the level that she does. Like, I have anxiety and that kind of holds me back some. And so if it's in front of friends or loved ones, I can do it. But more, people that I don't know really or whatever, it kind of, that anxiety kicks in and I'm like, no, I just need to be, quiet and kind of back down a little bit. Amber doesn't care. Amber's going to tell you no matter who you are, how she feels. And so I definitely admire that. And she's, a hardworking mom. Like, she does what it takes to take care of her kids. And I even fuss at her because, at Christmas time, she goes all out. I'm like, why are you buying those children all that stuff? She's like, nope, got to take care of my babies. And I'm like, oh, we talk about that stuff all the time. I'm like, you spend too much money. She's just like, nope. That's what they want. I got to take care of them. I'm a single parent. So yeah.
And it's
awesome.
And it's more than just what they want. It's who you are, Amber. It's what you want to do for them. It's that's how you love them.
I think it's also, it's guilt gifts. Is that a term? We can make it a term.
Sure.
Guilt gifts. Because I feel, especially with all of my girls, they're the twins' dad. He's a bum. He's not going to do anything for them. Tori's dad has passed. So in my mind, I'm making up for two parents.
Mm.
And I just need to be logical sometimes. But every time I go, I'm going to stop. another package comes in. Oh my God, it's a problem. I just spoil them. I tell them all the time, they're the spoiledest poor kids I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
Because we are poor.
But rich, have everything. But rich in everything you need, right?
Yeah, more than what they need. More than what they deserve. Really.
So what about you, Amber? What do you admire about Darragh?
I admire, Darragh has always been very responsible. Very responsible. Even when Darragh was 14 and 15, she was always like money responsible. She was always, and I think that's stems probably from like with her mom and things like that. Darragh has always been on top of things and making sure Darragh is okay. I appreciate or admire Darragh's her loyalty. It's very, very hard to find people who will say, pack your kids up and come live with me for 2 years for free and get your life together.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to help you. And
that's powerful. Wow.
Not once complained, not once asked me for anything, and even during that time, Darragh was going through her own stuff with like her husband and things being out of work, and still was carrying a whole household, me, her husband, and my 2 kids, and never asked for anything. And anytime I've needed Darragh, she was there. The night that Tori's dad passed away, I called Darragh like at 11:30 at night, and I said, I don't know what's going on, but I think it's really bad. I might need you to come down here. Darragh got in her car. It was left Fredericksburg. It was to Hampton for me that night.
Wow.
No questions. All I did was call, and she was there.
And that's the type of friendship that I want to communicate and show to the viewers and listeners that's possible, because I run into so many women, and I'm sure you guys do too, that struggle with female relationships, that struggle with finding that good friend. So, on that note, what would you encourage the women who are listening and watching? What would you encourage them to look for to, or conversely to run from in a friendship?
I mean, sometimes it's not even what you're looking for in other people. It's what you're looking for in yourself.
Oh, that's good.
And you have to be able to be a good friend to have good friends.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
And you have to be a good person to have good people in your life.
Yes.
That are really, truly in there to stay, not just for a season. And I think that's a big thing is I don't have issues with other women. I'm not catty. I'm not, any of that. I mean, I said, I'm outspoken, but it's because those are my beliefs and, what I believe in. But it's not because, ew, I think she's cuter than me, or ew, I don't like that. Like, I'm just not that type of person. Yeah. And so I am able to have friendships with people that are meaningful, but I have very few friends.
Yes.
Which I enjoy that. I have people that I might hang out with. I have people that, I'm close with for maybe a short amount of time, but like my best friends, like I've, especially since moving to Fredericksburg, I've kind of, you have work friends and then you leave that job. Sure. And then, you think you're going to be friends, but you leave out of sight, out of mind. And Amber has been there constantly, no matter what. So I think that definitely just, looking within yourself and seeing what type of person you are and what type of friend you are is going to help you get friendships and maintain them that are healthy for you.
Right. Yeah, that's good. I love that advice. Yep.
Yeah.
How about for you, Amber? What would you say to them?
I don't know. I'm an observer. So I watch people for a long time before I let them in. Like, I don't just randomly say, you're my friend now. Come over here. No. Like,
but you know how many people do that?
Oh yeah.
They're so hungry for friendship that they're just like, word vomit. Let me tell you everything about my life. And
I don't like that. That actually turns me off.
Yeah.
Because let me take the time to get to know you. Like, I think that, like, I actually, you know, I have a core group of friends like Darragh. Like, I would say, like, me and Darragh have the same pretty much core group of friends, like 2 or 3 other girls. We know at the end of the day, no matter what, they're going to be there. But I actually have really good friends outside of that core group too. That I'm really, really close to, that I still talk to. And I think that you just understand, you have to be patient in friendships too, and know that some people want so much from you. As a mom, as somebody who works, I can't give everyone that all the time.
That's right. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I guess I have to have people, or surround myself with people who understand that Amber may not always answer your call.
Got it. Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? I'm going to call you back. But it's again,
knowing yourself. You have to know yourself first. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that's really good. Yeah. So last question I have for the two of you is, this, season is all about how friendships make you grow. So your friendship, Amber and Darragh, how have you grown individually as a direct result of your friendship?
I became more responsible.
Nice. So she's rubbing off on you, huh?
I really, really like to tell Darragh when my credit score goes up. Like, I don't know if it's like bringing home, like when you're a kid and you got like straight A's on your report card and your parents are like, great job. I swear to God, I love to tell Darragh when my credit score goes up. Nothing brings me more joy in life.
That.
And nothing brings me more joy than to hear that. I'm like, oh my gosh, good job.
Darragh, look, guess what I paid off? I paid off 2 of my credit cards. Oh, I thrive to live in Darragh's credit world.
Yeah.
You guys remind me so much of my friendship with my friend Candy. She's the responsible one, and I'm like, the fly by the seat of your pants girl.
Like, oh no.
Later.
That's so good. How about you, Darragh?
I just, feel like I said earlier, Amber's more of an outspoken in all situations than I am. Mm-hmm. And, I think with us being friends, especially when I'm with her, that helps me become more like that.
Okay.
Because I kind of have that confidence because she's next to me. And so, she just kind of, she doesn't play. Yeah. So, yeah.
Don't mess with Amber, people.
Don't mess with her. Cause she
don't mess with Darragh.
Yeah. Cause Amber will go crazy.
Yeah. You just say what you want to me. I don't give a crap.
But don't mess with my friend.
That's right. That's right.
So that's there. I love your friendship. It is 100% authentic and beautiful to see. Thank you for sharing that with me. And as we close out today, just if you could leave the listeners and the watchers with one little nugget about friendship, about life, whatever it is. What's the nugget you want to leave with them?
Find you an Amber.
Oh, that's the best advice ever.
I don't know I'm not going to top that. So I'll say find you a Darragh.
Right. Yes.
Or maybe I did top it with that. Look.
Find you a good friend. Somebody who's steady and will always be there. That's the 2 of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friends, if you were encouraged by the truths that Darragh and Amber shared, would you please do me the honor of sharing your biggest takeaway from today's episode in your Instagram story? Tag me at dr.sherryspeaks and use the hashtag Thriving Thoughts with Dr. Sherri. That'll help us get the show out to more people who aren't aware of it and can be encouraged by it. Share this episode with a friend, hashtag share the show, and check back this Friday for another monologue episode with me about thriving in friendship. If you want to connect with Amber and Darragh, all of the ways to do that are in the show notes. See you guys next time. And remember to speak truth over the lies so you can thrive in any and every circumstance.